Okay, guys, so I have Joshua and Camille here with me, and we just signed on 2 transactions for you guys, and I wanted to sit down with you and see if you'd give us kind of an overview of how the experience went, because originally when we first met, especially you, Joshua, you were pretty hesitant on, do we want to use an agent? We can probably sell our house by ourselves, like save a bunch of money, which is totally understandable. But just wanted to kind of go over the process, how the experience was for you guys, and any comments and feedback you guys have there.
Yeah, I remember when we first met, and you were talking about the pricing, and we were standing in that random house in Kaysville.
Yeah, and
do
then
you remember that?
And then the sellers came in.
And then the sellers came in, yeah, because we had taken too long. But I had this idea that realtors just are way overpaid. That it's just they charge, a premium price for work that can be done by anybody, right?
Yeah.
Or at least anybody can hire a lawyer or someone that has that knowledge of the documents to be able to do. And so I had this idea that I could sell the house, hire somebody to a broker that was licensed to list our house, and then hire somebody to do the documents and kind of be the facilitator of it. And the $30,000 or what you were quoting us was just so much money. But that perspective, that idea just absolutely melted away in our experience. Like you really do great work, not just in knowing the market and understanding the value of our home and helping us kind of facilitate the whole process, but you really have just an expertise on being creative and thinking outside of the box, knowing what our needs are and understanding the process well enough to see where that fits our needs. I think that life is all about changing, and I think that the change that I saw was my perspective on realtors. But I think it's really important to say that not all realtors are the same.
Right.
And you've got something really special.
No,
That's what I was going to say is with our first home, we used a realtor. And it was a completely different experience. He did not encourage us to get a home inspection. He told us it was up to us. It really wasn't worth it. And
he was just a paper pusher.
Yeah.
That's all he was.
it really was.
Yeah.
Like, we offered what they were asking because he told us to, and that was it. That was, like, really all we heard from him. So going into it this time around, we're like, we could do that. Like, we could offer someone, and we could save the money on realtor fees. But especially, like, every situation is different, but we saved a ton of money by using an agent because the money that we got back on updates that needed to be done on the home that we figured out after doing an inspection.
Right.
We never would have known that if we would have dismissed the inspection again.
Right.
And there were times selling our own home that we were like, we need to lower the price. It's been too long. It's been a
Just
week.
emotional, right?
Yeah. Like,
it was like, oh, what are we going to do? It's only been 3 days.
yeah. And if it was up to us, we would have lowered the price
We
because
would've,
it was just
right.
like, no one wants it. Let's just lower the price.
We
But
would've.
because we had you were like, no, just hang in there, just hang in there. And we ended up getting what we wanted for our house. And that was just selling our house. And then with closing costs and the money that we saved, and then we have these dumb solar panel loans.
Yeah.
And trying to sell a home with a solar panel loan, and that was a headache. But you really made it possible. And
Yeah.
it saved us a lot of
Yeah.
money on that whole process.
Yeah.
That
was
if we
all
didn't
you.
have an agent, we would have had that loan hanging over our head that we would have had to deal with the whole thing. And we would have lowered the price on our house. We would have never done an inspection and saved a ton of money, a lot of money, like more than 10 grand just on the inspection part alone. By doing that the sellers of our new home are going to cover because we had an agent. It really would have just been we sold our house for a cheaper price because we were impatient, and then we would have bought our next house overpriced and been left with a ton of updates. And that was our experience with our first home.
Yeah.
With the realtor that was not helpful, we were left with $40,000 in updates that had to be done because he did not encourage us to get an inspection, and he didn't help us.
I also remember one of the texts that you had right after the inspection of the house that we were buying, and we proposed to the concessions, and then they came back and they countered, and we were just like, okay, let's just do it. And you said, let's just wait. Let's just wait just a minute. And it was not, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours that they came back and they were like, okay, we'll take it.
Right.
Like that alone just saved us like $10,000. And those little things that little things that you did just really add up to
Right.
something really special that was significant.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well-
here we are at the end of the deal, and it's hard to even calculate what you've done because it was just exponential.
And that's why I wanted to do this. Not all deals are like this. This was I can't say it was all me. We had great buyers that we were working with, great sellers, like awesome people on the other end. But both of your deals, like we were really able to maximize the sales price on your sell. Like we were pushing numbers that I was like, I don't think we can get that high. But
And
we'll
you've even
try
told
it.
us that.
Yeah, I told you guys, like I'm not confident in this number that we're shooting for, but let's dial in the marketing, staging, make sure it's all ready, let it sit, like be patient, and then out of nowhere we get full price, asking offer, willing to assume the solar loan, which is another conversation. And then on your purchase, like originally you guys were like, let's just go in, we really want this house, let's go into asking. We went in with closing costs and less, right? If I'm remembering right. And they like accepted it and were like, amazing, this is awesome. And then we did the inspection and there were a number of other things that needed to be done, and we went back and got an additional a lot of money off.
Yeah.
And so like between the two, like you guys, and not, I can't say all deals are like this, and a lot of this is probably just the way you guys live and good karma, and like I can't say this was all me, but there are, like a good agent can help in like slowing down the process, taking the emotion out of it. And then like this last hurdle with the solar, where the buyers were supposed to assume the solar loan, couldn't assume it, and now we're left with, you know, a $10,000 solar bill that we're like, shoot, how do we do this? Like, you don't want to lose the deal that you're trying to buy. We don't want it all to blow up over the solar. And we were able to still kind of figure out a win-win to where hopefully both parties are happy. So
I think that every realtor, they use that pitch.
yeah.
Hire me because I can maximize your return.
Mm-hmm.
But I really believe that Mountain Buff, I really believe that you mean it. Like you fought for us every step of the way. And that's something that just, I'm so grateful that we get to do something like this, because you really get to hear from somebody's perspective on like, you really do that.
Yeah.
You really mean what you say, and you really follow through.
No, I appreciate you guys. And appreciate you for like, because I was like, there's a few ways we can handle this if you're trying to buy a house while selling your house. And you guys listened to the advice I gave you, and I think that makes a big difference. And even myself, like, we were out looking at homes the other day, and I found myself getting emotional and like, oh yeah, we could buy this house and sell our house. And I'm like, hold on, this is like the wrong way to go about it, because there is a better way to like maximize your returns. And most people just get like rushed into it, and it's like they don't really think about the process. They just end up falling into it and then having to make it work and leaving a ton of money on the table.
Yeah.
So
Another thing that really helped us in this process was we had offers. Before the offer that we accepted, we had other offers, and you're emotionally like, I just want to sell my house. And so I think that we probably would have accepted them if we didn't have an agent,
Right.
because but those offers were contingent on them selling their house.
mm-hmm.
And that works sometimes, but in our situation, we knew that that wasn't going to work for us. But I think if we didn't have an agent, we probably would have just desperately gone forward. But
Yeah.
you were very like, just be patient. You'll get an
Yeah.
offer. You'll get one.
Yeah.
And it really worked out.
I mean, the commissions we charge it's a large amount.
Yeah.
But I think people underestimate how much, like, what you can get in addition to having an agent, and how easy it is to negotiate, 5% on a home, or end up paying too much or getting too little for your home. Because, like, I think people just get fixated on, oh, it's going to cost me this much to sell the house, not what are they going to do to get more out of it or to get me a better deal when I'm buying,
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot that goes into it, and that's what we really try and perfect with Mountain Buff. So I'm glad you guys could share your experience.
And we just need to mention your decoration. Your decorating abilities are
Which is
phenomenal.
funny because they're not that great, but we get it done.
It was
so,
great.
Yeah.
I mean, the pictures, the walkthrough,
Mhm.
the aerials,
Yeah.
just the little things like the
Mhm.
pictures and the pictures that you hang in our wall, and
Right.
the carpet and
Yeah.
the furniture, the things that you brought in your trailer. I mean, we still have people, like our neighbors will reach out and like, okay, where'd you get that cow?
Yeah.
Where'd
Yeah.
you get that cow? That picture is...
It's our lucky cow. Yeah.
But
So
really, you know what works you know, conceptually in the market,
Yeah.
and you just come in full force and you do everything. And that's what I really love. I feel like some realtors, they do what they have time for, and they'll just kind of leave the rest up to chance. You don't.
Yeah.
You don't leave anything up to chance. You really invest in your clients. And I don't know how many pennies are in the commissions that we gave you, but it's worth every single one.
Oh, you're awesome. Thank you guys.
Thank you.